Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It's Crystal here. I'm just here because I want to go over a code review with you for Exploratory Data Analysis, Kaggle's 2022 survey. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show that to you. And basically, every year Kaggle sends out a survey to all of the people that use their website, and they ask people to fill out the survey, and then they take the results of the survey and put it into a CSV file. And then when they take the survey and put it into a CSV file, what they do is they invite people to do an exploratory data survey on it, exploratory data analysis on it, which is what I've done. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you my EDA. And I did get a bronze medal on one of my EDAs, but not this one. I modified it. They gave me a bronze medal right away, and so I went and modified it after they gave me the bronze medal. So I've not got a bronze medal for this. I did actually receive a message from somebody giving me some advice on how I can improve my work. But since I'm not living in the United States and there's not much possibility for me to win an award, I'm not that worried about it. But some people decided to message me and tell me how I can improve myself. So thank you very much, the individuals that did that. So I created this Jupyter notebook in Kaggle's Jupyter notebook under the survey. So that's where I did it. And I imported my libraries. So I imported NumPy SNP, which is a numeric computation library that creates NumPy arrays. I imported Pandas SPD, which performs data processing, and it creates and manipulates series and data frames. I imported OS, which goes into the operating system of the Kaggle website. I imported Matplotlib PyPlot, which is a graphics library that plots the data points onto a graph. And I imported Seaborn SSNS, which is a higher level graphics library written on top of Matplotlib to give you statistics as well. So after I imported my libraries, I used OS to go into the data set, go into the directory, and get the CSV file, which is what I wanted. So I read the data set, I converted it, used Pandas to convert the CSV file to a data frame, calling it data, and I wanted to see all of the rows. So I said pd.set option display.max columns, none, and you only want to see the first 3 rows. And you can see that row 0 is actually the questions. So I had to make row 0 the header. So new header equals data.ilog 0, df equals data 1 to the end, because remember that in Python the first number is 0. df columns equals new header, and you look at df2, and so now we've got the new header and we've got the first 2 columns. Look at the data info, and so it's a data frame with a range index 23998 entries 0 to 23997. It's got 296 columns, and they're object columns. Wanted to check unique values. df, what is your age? And so these are your unique values for df, what is your age? And I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 unique values. So we wanted to do value counts. So you can see the most of the people who responded were 4559 was the year 18 to 21. So you can see that young people look at this website more than older people. But you had 526 people from 60 to 69 which is my age range, and then you had 127 people answered 70 plus, which is not my age range yet. You ask you what is your age years, and so I put it on a pie chart so you can see the biggest representation of people were going to be 18 to 21, 22 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, and 30 to 30, 35 to 39, and then it dwindles after that. But we did put it on a pie chart. What is your gender? There are 5 unique values for gender. Man, woman, prefer not to say, non-binary, prefer to self-describe. And we did the value counts, and it was mainly men that responded, and after that it was women, and then prefer not to say, non-binary, and refer to self-describe. I'm not even sure exactly what non-binary means, but hi-ho. And then we put it on a pie chart, and you can see that maybe 3/4 of the people that responded were men, and maybe 20% were women, and the rest were prefer not to say, non-binary, prefer to self-describe. We checked the unique values for the country. What country do you reside in? And 58 countries responded. And here's all the unique values of all the countries that responded. And then we did a value count. So India had the highest number of respondents, followed by America. And then we looked at the percentages, and so India was about 36% respondents, so that's good. And then I made a little bar H chart, but it's hard to read because I should have made the chart bigger. If I had made the chart bigger, then you could actually see all the names, but as it is, they're all scrunched up, but I'm not going to worry about that. But if I had made the chart bigger, it wouldn't look like that. So now I wanted to just select women because I'm a woman. I thought, well, it'll be a good idea to see which women data scientists responded. So we checked women. We had in 5286 rows by 296 columns. So that means 5286 women responded. And then we looked to see which country they lived in. And India by far was the most people. You have more women in India responding to the survey. And then we looked at the percentages, and it was 41% of the women in India responded to the survey, whereas 14% of the women in the U.S. responded to the survey, and not even 1% of the women in the UK responded to the survey. So now we're going to look at women in the UK. We want to see women in the UK. And then we want to see the unique values for women in the UK. And one thing that you'll notice is the year 70 plus is missing. So that means no women in the UK responded who were 70 or older. We looked at the women who responded from 60 to 69, and there was only one respondent, and that was me. There was only one respondent. It was me. So summary of older women in the UK who are data scientists. It says only one woman in the UK over 60 responded to the survey. Now we're going to compare older women in the UK with older women in the US. So we check for women in the US. and there were 773 women in the U.S. who responded. We checked for the unique values, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 unique values because they had women 70 and older who responded to the survey. So we checked older women, and so since you had women in the 60 to 69 age group and the 70 plus age group, what we wanted to say was if it was a woman in the age group of, we filtered it, and if it was a woman in the age group 60 to 69 or 70, then it would filter it out. So that's what we did. We filtered it. And I think it was 24, if I recall correctly. And now we check the women in their years. So, and we put it on a bar plot. And so most of the women that responded in the 60 to 70 age group were between 60 to 69. But I think 5 people from 70 plus responded. So you had 19 people 60 to 69 and 5 people 70 plus responded. And here's the percentages of 79% 69 to 69 and 20% 70. And what I wanted to check was the highest level of education. So you had a master's degree was 7, a bachelor's degree was 5, professional doctorate was 4, and a doctoral degree was 4. And then some college, university was 3, and prefer not to answer as 1. So you had really, really high educated women. And then so we put this on a pie chart just to see where it fits into the pie chart. And you can see the master's degree was the largest. And wanted to see which women published academic papers. 9 women published academic papers and 6 women didn't. And then I guess the rest was not applicable. And then you wanted to know like the job titles or the current role of these women. So other was 11, teacher professor was 2, software engineer was 2, data engineer was 1, data analyst was 1, currently not employed was 1. So if you're a woman and you're over 60 and you're unemployed, you're not in a very good situation. So we're going to do a summary of the women in the U.S. who responded to the survey. 24 women in the U.S. responded to the survey, with 5 of those women being over 70 years of age. The women in the U.S. who responded to the survey were, for the most part, highly educated, with 8 having doctorates, 7 having masters, and 5 having bachelor's degrees. 9 of the women who responded have published research in data science. And here's a summary of the comparison of older women in the UK to older women in the US who are data scientists. There are more older women working in data science in the US than there are in the UK. In fact, there are 24 older women in the US working in data science and only 1 in the UK. This indicates there are more opportunities for older women to work in data science in the US than there are in the UK. So I said that as nicely as possible, but I've been living in the UK for 30 years, and I can tell you it's very hard to break through that glass ceiling in the UK. And this pretty much proves it. I know we've got a woman prime minister now, and we've had Theresa May was a prime minister, and Margaret Thatcher was a prime minister. But just looking at the results of a survey, this proves that it's more difficult for women in the UK to get like senior positions than it is in the US, because you have much more women in the US responding to the survey than the UK. So that's it. That's it for my code review. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I look forward to making more code reviews for you in the future. I would like to thank all of my subscribers for supporting my channel, and thank you for watching my code review.